So I'm driving a Volkswagen Golf R, and I don't know what the R stands for, but I wouldn't be surprised if it stands for racing, because this is a very fast car. From the outside, when you first look at the car, it all seems very discreet. It just looks like another Golf. It doesn't look particularly sporty. It's not like the GT range. There's nothing really to differentiate it until you look a little bit closer. And then you notice there's 4 pipes coming out of the back, which tends to indicate a car with a bit of performance. You open the door and you notice the seats have got very, very deep sides to hug you around the corners. And you start to think, what's going on with this car? And then you start the engine, and you know you've got a powerful car. It just bursts into life. It sounds absolutely fantastic. Let's see if you can listen to this. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? So that's the first impression of the car. The seat's nice and comfortable, really badly let down by the headrest. The headrest is absolutely useless, a complete waste of time. So on a long journey, which I've just having, I've been driving this for like 3 or 4 hours now, and I've still got an hour or so to go. You really want to be able to rest your head. And it really lets it down, not being able to use the headrest. It's absolutely the worst fault on this car, is the headrest. So as for the rest of it, it's really nicely styled inside. You got this nice discreet lighting accents on the doors and the door sill when you open it. You got this really fancy looking instrument cluster, so you can play with that and get all sorts of different things up on it. It looks pretty impressive. You got a massive screen built in, not tacked on, built into the center console. It's got hand gesture function. You've got nice big footwell, nice resting place for your left foot, and the gearbox. Now, I haven't had a full play with this because, quite honestly, just using it normally is really fast car. You put your foot down and it just takes off. But there seems to be quite a number of different settings on the gearbox, so I dare say you're going to have a real lot of fun with this. It's nice and quiet, it holds the road really well. I've been driving pretty fast in torrential rain, and in places where the road was a little bit flooded, it didn't even twitch the wheel. So it's a really nice car, really nice drive. The steering wheel is really good looking, and everything about it, apart from the bloody headrest, is good. I did think of something else. There was like 3 things I didn't like, and I could only remember about the headrest if I think about it. Did you hear that? If I think about it, I'll add it in. So I remembered what the other 2 things were, and they're not really gripes, they're just things that surprised me a little bit. I was kind of surprised that it wasn't keyless push button ignition. It's a key you've got to stick in the lock, like, you know, like the old style. So that was kind of surprising. I would have thought you'd have had a push button in a car like this. And the other thing was there's no rear camera. which I find surprising. I would have thought there'd have been a camera looking backwards for when you're parking and reversing. But there isn't. So anyway, that was my other two things. Not really gripes, just observations really, things that surprised me a little bit. In the meantime, drive safe.